Hello everyone, this is StrawberryShorty back with Time Only Knows. So I think these older visual novels by them only have I think they have less chapters, but the chapters are ridiculously long. So I'm still trying to figure out the volume settings for these. Here's your banana owlet. The black-haired girl got it for you. Hey, Shorty, are you listening? It's the banana owlet you wanted. Sorry, I was just rereading these emails. The one I just got is really bugging me. The girl with pigtails is Shiro Satome. Send the other two home. Well, what do you think? Is the pigtail girl Shiro Satome? No, I know that I can't just take this message from an unknown sender at face value. And I still haven't reached a decision regarding which of the three Shiros is the real one. I tried talking to all of them one-on-one, but each of them seems like she could be my girlfriend in some ways, and not in others. We still don't know why I tried to kill myself either. I guess talking to them was a waste of time. You talked to each Shiro for about 20 minutes. That's not really surprising. But it was a nice time killer, right? I mean, I enjoyed it. And it brought on more of those mysterious emails as you went. At any rate, it's clear that the sender does have some fixation on the pigtail girl. It does seem obvious from all of these emails. Call the girl with the pigtails next, don't let anyone into the room but the girl with the pigtails, and the girl with the pigtails is Shiro Satome. The girl with pigtails must have some kind of special meaning to this sender, or maybe... it's no use. No matter how hard I think about it, I can't figure out what the sender is after. True, I do think that the sender is one of the three Shiros out in the waiting room, but... More importantly, Shorty, it's almost time. Almost time? For what? For you to get your memory back! Before long, that memory restorative medicine you took will begin to take effect. As I explained, that medicine will bring back the memories you lost over the course of several hours. You took it at precisely 8 p.m. You'll have 50% recovered 1 hour later, at 9, 90% at 10, and 100% after 3 hours at 11 p.m. It's now 9 p.m., which means 50% of your memory should return. But I don't feel like my memory is about to come back. Don't get impatient. According to the medicine's instructions, before the memory recovery happens, you will experience symptoms similar to niacin flush. So when they're on their way back, you'll know pretty clearly. What's a niacin flush? Yeah, that. It's a set of symptoms that arise when you ingest a large quantity of niacin or vitamin B3. I still don't know what that is. I guess it's more like a side effect rather than symptoms. Your whole body will experience a burning sensation as well as some itching. That sounds very unpleasant. It's not painful at all, so you don't need to brace yourself that much. My body isn't hot and I'm not itching anywhere. If anything, I guess my throat is a little dry. Here, drink some water then. Taking in extra fluids won't hurt you. Shouldn't I be drinking that banana thing I made that girl go get? So I'm about to recover 50% of my memories. I wonder what this 50% will be. Nothing that answers the title question. Maybe I'll be able to remember who Shiro Satome is. There's no knowing that much. In patients experiencing generalized amnesia or dissociative fugue, in other words, patients with memory loss, the order in which they recover their memories seems to differ from case to case. Okay, so there's no telling what memories will come back, or in what order. There are 3 girls calling themselves Shiro Satome, and these strange emails from an unknown sender showing up periodically. I'm in the midst of this completely bewildering situation right now, but soon I should be able to remember all these important... Itchy, 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 itchy! Oh, it's starting. Itchy, 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 every inch of my body is itchy. What's going on? Itchy, 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 hot, burning, my whole body is burning up. This is hilarious. No, don't laugh. I thought you said the itching and heat was only going to be minor. Itchy, burning. You look like an octopus in boiling water right now. Hey, mind if I take a video and post it? Shocking. A strange contemporary dancer has appeared in the hospital at night. There, uploaded. My head is floaty. Hey, are you okay? Your whole body is spasming. Dr. Keiko, you're twisting around. What? My whole field of vision is warping. Hey, Shorty, get a hold of yourself. Shorty, answer me. Shorty. I thought we'd get our memories back in like a flashback, but apparently not. Seriously, are you okay? You're pouring sweat. I'm going to get a towel. Stay right where you are. Wait, please, Dr. Keiko. I remember now. That medicine is amazing. I really do have some of my memories back. That's great. So do you remember which one is Shiro Satome? No, I don't. I still don't know which of those 3 is my girlfriend. But right now, I don't really care. There's something more important than that now. More important than the true identity of Shiro Satome? What is it? Is it that we didn't try to take our own lives? Please try to stay calm when I tell you this. I never tried to kill myself. Oh, I was right. What? There's that weird happy music again. Or is it going to be something stupid like we were trying to have a camp out and we just accidentally nearly killed ourselves? I'm saying I never tried to kill myself with a charcoal briquette. The suicide attempt thing was a wrong assumption. Then why? I was drugged to fall asleep and then put into a tent with a burning briquette. They could have just stabbed you. People being so complicated. When I woke up, I tried to escape, but my body wouldn't move. Then I passed out, and when I came to, I was here. It wasn't an attempted suicide. It was an attempted murder. I was going to be murdered and made to look like I killed myself. I just got lucky because someone found me. You aren't joking, are you? I would never joke about something like this. I remember it clearly now. I was almost killed, and I know who the murderer was and where they are. Who? Where is the person who was trying to kill you? She's out in the hallway. Huh? The one who tried to kill me is one of the 3 Shiros. Whoa. How do you feel? Calmer now? I think I would be less calm. Yeah, I finally stopped sweating. Regaining your memories must have exhausted you. Make sure you keep drinking water. I was almost killed. Why wouldn't I remember something that important? That's just how amnesia works. Don't blame yourself. Still, you were the victim of a murder attempt rather than a suicide attempt? And the culprit is one of the 3 Shiros? Yes, that's right. To be totally honest, I'm having a hard time just believing that. It's so sudden. I can understand that, but it's true. I remember all of it clearly. For now, why don't we try to get all of our info in order? Will you tell me everything you just remembered? There's plenty of time, so don't rush. All right, first, just so you know, this is important, so make sure you take it down in red with an underline. Don't steal my line. I'm not going to lie about my recovered memories. I'm going to tell you everything just as it happened. In other words, these memories are true. I'm beginning to wonder if the person who wrote this actually really did play Umineko. Because if you're not familiar with that game, it's a murder mystery where a human battles a witch to try and figure out what's going on. And you state truths in red. That's basically how you can know what what the witch in particular is saying is true. Because otherwise, you could just say everything she says is lying. So if she says something in red, it's 100% true. So I'm guessing we can probably trust these. Did you write it in red? Don't forget the underline. Yes, okay, I wrote it down. Just tell me already. Let's see, where to begin? Details surrounding the murder attempt, how I know it was one of the 3 Shiros. I want to know how it was one of the 3 Shiros. So, I just said it was one of the 3 Shiros who did it. I'm going to talk about my basis for that. It was their smell. Their smell? Yes, the person who tried to kill me had a unique smell. And one of the 3 Shiros smelled the same. Isn't that a little weak as a basis? Well, yes, I can see how from an outside perspective it may not seem like conclusive evidence, but I'm sure of it. One of the Shiros had the exact same smell as the culprit. I only remember us talking about the smell of the cheerleader. Could you tell me what it smelled like more specifically? It's hard to describe, but it was an extremely distinctive smell. It was, very clean and refreshing, almost cool. It must have been some kind of perfume. Yeah, that was the cheerleader. So, if you were to meet with the Shiros again and check how they smelled, would you be able to pinpoint the culprit? Yes, I believe I could. I have another basis. The culprit was able to lock and unlock my apartment freely. In other words, they had a spare key. I may not have my memories of Shiro's face or voice back yet, but I do remember that the only person I gave a spare key to was my girlfriend, Shiro. I mean, a stalker got in no problem, so... That one is my only spare key. There aren't any others. Plus, it could have been stolen from them or from you. Or they could have ambushed you when you were trying to go back to your apartment. Do you understand what I'm getting at? The only one who could have entered my apartment was the real Shiro Satome. Which means that one of the 3 waiting outside, the real Shiro Satome, is my girlfriend and the one who tried to kill me. So your girlfriend is the culprit. Still, at this point, all we have is circumstantial evidence. It's unclear whether they actually used a spare key, and I really don't believe having the same smell as the killer is conclusive evidence. It's too early to decide that your girlfriend is the one who tried to kill you. You're probably right. Anyway, I think I'll move on to the next point now. There are more things I remember. I'll do my profile, because I want to save the murder attempt. I remembered some information about myself, so I'll talk about that now. Please do. My occupation is a private tutor. I work for a tutoring agency here in town. I have a girlfriend and her name is Shiro Satome. I know that. My favorite food is hamburgers with loads of pickles, and my hobby is hunting for bargains in internet auctions. I don't care. My special talent is being able to touch my nose and chin with the tip of my tongue. See, watch. Lick, lick. My favorite actress is Karen Morohoshi. I don't want to know that. Why are you being so blunt? Because the more I hear about you, the more bored I get. To put it nicely, you're an ordinary young man without much personality. To put it less nicely, you're boring and mediocre. Those are both mean. Why can't you show a little more interest in your patients? No, it's just that you yourself are boring. Everything that's going on around you is extremely interesting. You have amnesia, you got 3 self-proclaimed girlfriends showing up, someone tried to kill you. Ugh, well, you're right, I don't want to admit it, but yeah, I'm an ordinary dude, practically an NPC. Anyway, I think I'll move on to the next point now. There are more things I remember. Alright, I think I'll start by talking about the situation when the murder attempt happened. I'll go chronologically, like a flashback. It's happy music again. It was around 5 p.m. today, so 4 hours ago. I left work around 4:30 and hurried home. I just wanted to play video games. As I left the office, the rain that had been going on since noon had just stopped. I remember the gorgeous sunset over the city. Wait, you left at 4:30? That's pretty early. Yeah, today's Wednesday, right? I get off early on Wednesdays. Normally I work until around 10 p.m. Gotcha. Keep going. I think I got back to my apartment building a little before 5. When I got home, the first thing I did was take a shower. After I left the bathroom, I got a cola out of the fridge, grabbed a bag of potato chips, and went into the living room. For the next 10 minutes or so, I was sitting on the couch, drinking my cola, eating my chips, playing my video game. Then all of a sudden, this intense drowsiness came over me. I never felt this kind of drowsiness before. I couldn't fight it off. Now that I think about it, they probably drugged my cola, like a sleeping pill or that kind of thing. Okay, keep going. I paused the game, stood up, moved around, anything to keep myself awake. But I wound up sitting back down on the couch and dropping off. The next thing I knew, I was lying on the floor. I was sprawled out right next to the couch, facing the wall. It was completely dark out at that point. The room was pitch black, but I could see the wall clock out of the corner of my eye. It was 5:40. So I had passed out for about half an hour. Why was I on the floor? I tried to sit up, since it seemed ridiculous that I could have tossed and turned that much, but I couldn't even move my arms or speak, let alone stand up. At that moment, I heard something behind me. It was a sort of shh sound, like a windbreaker rubbing against itself. I imagine it was the sound of the culprit setting up the tent. Yes, exactly. To be honest, I was pretty spooked. My body wouldn't move. There was someone behind me. That weird shh sound. After that sound stopped, I heard a clunking sound and then something that sounded like a match being struck. So the sound of the briquette being set up and lit. And then whoever was behind me suddenly grabbed me with both hands, and they dragged me into the tent. They laid me down right next to the burning briquette and then shut the tent and left the apartment. And the last thing I heard was the front door being locked. Being locked? Huh. A few minutes later, I passed out, either from lack of oxygen or carbon monoxide poisoning. And the next thing I knew, I was here in the hospital. I got here a little after 6 p.m., right? All right, I've got a pretty good picture of the situation at the time. By the way, did you see the culprit's face? I feel like I would have mentioned that. I don't know. All the memories I've got back are fragments. I'm sure they were trying to kill me, and I have a rough recollection of the flow of events as they occurred at my apartment, but the details are still a bit hazy. I can't remember. Part of me feels like I did see their face, and part of me feels like I didn't. Do you know what their build was, or what their voice sounded like? No, unfortunately. I guess I talked about everything I remember? Still, I don't know the culprit's motive. I don't have any idea why someone would kill me. Are you serious? You can't come up with any reason that your girlfriend would kill you? Yeah, maybe once all my memories are back, I'll know for sure why I was almost killed. Somehow, I can imagine what the culprit's motive might have been. Huh? Seriously? Tell me! Why would my own girlfriend want to kill me? No, forget it. All I said was that I could imagine it. That doesn't mean I feel any certainty about it. Ask about the culprit's motives or don't ask? I'm gonna ask. Don't say that. Please just tell me. Supposing the culprit is my girlfriend, Cheryl Satome, what do you think her motive was? Well, you keep leering at all these girls. I don't care if you don't have any basis for it. I just want to know your thoughts. It might just be because I don't remember yet, but I don't have any clue about the motive. Why would my girlfriend kill me? All right, I'll tell you what I think. Infidelity. Huh? Cheryl Satome tried to kill you because you cheated on her. That's what I think. No, I didn't cheat. I don't have any memory of doing that. You lost your memory. It could just be that you haven't remembered yet. I'm nothing but faithful and devoted when it comes to women in romance. I would never ever cheat. Oh, faithful and devoted when it comes to women, you say? What are you... Hey, let's roll a few flashbacks. Breaking the fourth wall again.
Hehehe. It's all right, Shorty. You can look at me all you like.
All right, guess I'll help myself then. Man, though, you're seriously gorgeous. It's even more obvious now that I'm seeing you up close. That slightly tanned skin, just like you'd expect a cheerleader to have. It's so beautiful. The gentle curve of your eyebrows and the slope of your eyes are so soothing, and there's something indescribably motherly in your soft smile.
Pardon me.
This is wonder and I. What are you gawking at? Oh, I was just thinking what a cuter walk is. Both hands tightly clenched, trotting daintily, like some kind of timid little animal, a baby rabbit. I just want to protect her.
Hello there. Heh.
Ugh, that look again, silently looking down on me, mocking me. Like I noticed when we first met, she's got these big eyes and the pigtails and such a cute voice. This girl's like an idol. Oh, and now that I look at her more closely, her figure isn't bad either. I still think the doctor's more relevant than it seems. Any falsehoods in these flashbacks? No, nothing. You were ogling every one of the Shirls and getting extremely excited. And that's not all. Regarding each of the three, you stated, she could be my girlfriend. Yes, I do remember doing that. The fact that you lost your memories has made your true nature all the more clear. You may hide it, but you're a girl-obsessed pervert, and what's more, you fall for girls quickly and indiscriminately. Far from being faithful and devoted. But when it comes to romance, I'm very earnest. I mean it, please believe me. Yeah, I don't believe you at all. The culprit, that is to say Cheryl Satome, snapped and tried to kill you because you cheated on her. Wait. Killing someone because of infidelity, that's a grudge killing, right? She tried to kill me out of built-up resentment? But I don't think it was hatred that drove the culprit. They tried to kill me and make it look like a suicide, right? They went out of their way to buy a tent and a charcoal briquette, so the whole thing must have been carefully planned out. I get a sense of deliberateness from this culprit, but not a sense of hatred. All right, I get what you're saying. I don't. When you think of grudge killings, you tend to think of people being stabbed with a knife or beaten with a blunt weapon or stuff like that. But someone who thinks a little more, someone in whom attempt to kill and composure can coexist, would never go for stabbing or beating someone to death. Huh? What do you mean? I mean, they would never choose a murder method that would let people take one look at the scene and go, this was a murder. The police's investigation begins when the body is found. By analyzing the cause of death and the murder weapon, they can build a profile of the culprit. After that, through security camera footage and witness interviews, they can easily find their way to the culprit. The police in this country are excellent at what they do. Not in the last game, they weren't. So, a smart killer kills their target in a way that won't make it an obvious murder. They'll make it look like an accident or an illness or a suicide. Anyway, we don't know whether or not the culprit was your girlfriend, Cheryl Satome, and at present, we can't pin down their motive for trying to kill you either. Maybe it was a grudge, maybe it wasn't. What does seem certain is that the culprit has a compassionate personality. Compassionate? How can you possibly say that? They tried to kill me! No, it's the fact that they drugged you with sleeping medication and tried to kill you through carbon monoxide poisoning. That would be a peaceful death with no pain. I see. I guess that's one way of looking at it. I'm glad I didn't die, though. I'm grateful to whoever discovered me. Yes, I think it's very fortunate that you didn't die. But if the apartment was locked, wouldn't that mean whoever saved me had the key? So, that's a contradiction right there. Yes, I think it's very fortunate that you didn't die. The crime was perfect. They drugged you so that you couldn't move, then left you alone in a tent filled with carbon monoxide. There were no blunders there. By all accounts, you should have died. And yet you're alive, which should never have failed anyway. Why is that? Maybe I wasn't supposed to die. Maybe the whole thing was a fake. Why? Because whoever found me first saved me, right? Yes, of course there's that, but... All right, well, I've talked about everything I remember for the time being. Well, do you believe me now? I'm reserving judgment still. But you still don't believe me after I've given you this many specifics? Wait here for a bit, Shorty. I'm going out. Huh? Where are you going? After the ambulance brought you here, we took blood and urine samples for testing. I glanced over the initial results, but I haven't seen the more detailed analysis yet. The more detailed analysis should be finished about now. I'm going to go check the results. Why now? Are my test results that important? Yes, they are. I'll explain why they're important later. For now, stay in bed and wait. Is someone going to sneak in? Nope. I'm back. She's frowning. Oh, hey. The atmosphere in that hallway is really something. The Shirls are sitting on the sofa out there, but they've all got at least 3 feet between them. They aren't saying a word to each other, not even looking at each other, just sitting in silence, reading reference books or messing with their phones. Oof, it's like one of those tense scenes where the favorite girlfriend and the two cheating partners are all in the same space. Haha, yeah, it really is. I believe you. Huh? That you were drugged to fall asleep and set up to be killed and look like you killed yourself. I believe it. Why all of a sudden? I just saw the results of the analysis. Oh my gosh. Flunitrazepam and ketamine were detected in your blood and urine. Fluni? What's that? A sleeping drug and narcotic. It dissolves easily in carbonated drinks, and if it's mixed with alcohol, it can cause memory defects. Overseas, it's infamous as a date rape drug. What you said was right. You were definitely slipped a sleeping pill. I knew it! It must have been slipped into the plastic cola bottle you were drinking from, like you guessed. These sorts of drugs are colored so that they dye water blue when dissolved, to prevent abuse of them. But thanks to the color and flavor of cola, you wouldn't have realized it was there. Not a useful feature to have, then. Most people going to clubs and parties ain't drinking water. You just said that the drug I was given can cause memory defects, only if mixed with alcohol. Could that drug be what caused my amnesia? The possibility is there, but I have yet to hear of a case of generalized amnesia arising from the ingestion of flunitrazepam and ketamine. Your own generalized amnesia may be a psychological effect arising from the intense experience of nearly being killed. Until I saw the detailed blood analysis, I was only half convinced of what you told me. But with the detection of flunitrazepam and ketamine, the credibility of your story has shot through the roof. That you were drugged and almost killed, and made to look like you had killed yourself, is most likely true. Yes, it is. It's true. So there's one thing left to do. What's that? Report it to the police, obviously. You're the victim of an attempted murder. And the prospective culprits are sitting out in the hallway. We should get the police here immediately. Wait, huh? The police? Yes, the police. Isn't that the obvious next move? But I still don't have all of my memories back. If I wait a little longer, I might know who the culprit is. Hey, don't try to play detective. It's not up to you to determine the culprit. That's the police's job. Yeah, you're right. That's completely fair. I can't argue with that. So I'm going to call the police. You get some sleep. Once the police get here, they'll probably be investigating until morning. This feels like a relevant choice. Stop her or don't stop her. I feel like we should stop her, but I also feel like if we don't stop her, it might lead to a bad ending. But, what do I do? Because if there's a bad ending, I want to get it. Could I look up a guide? I don't want to do that, though. I think I will not stop her. Partially because I think that would lead to a bad ending, but also because, realistically, I would want the police there. Is that it? I guess that Dr. Keiko might go to the place if I told her the truth, and that's exactly what happened. I want to keep her from going, but that's probably impossible. I wanted to solve this myself. I wanted to figure out why Cheryl tried to kill me. But maybe this is for the best. Leaving it up to the police might be the safest, most reliable option. This does feel like a bad ending. I'm sorry, Cheryl. I wish you could have turned yourself in at least, instead of being arrested by the police. 1 week later. This is a special news bulletin. The bodies of a man and a woman have been discovered inside an automobile dragged up from XXXX Lake in XX Prefecture. According to identification found inside the car, the bodies belong to Mr. Shorty Sato and Miss Cheryl Satome. The day before the bodies were discovered, Cheryl Satome's father, a man in his 60s, was found to have hanged himself in the hospital where he was a patient. This again points to the cheerleader, being Cheryl Satome. The police believe there is a high possibility of involvement in a larger incident, but significant water damage to the bodies makes it likely that their investigation will be rough going. This concludes our special bulletin. Game over. Bad End 3. Slaughter. So we have a lot of evidence pointing to the cheerleader. She was either the murderer or the victim in the other endings, and she's the one with the specific smell we remember from our supposed killer. But this would make it seem like she got arrested, unless she's the killer and one of the others is our girlfriend. Hello, it is I, the flower blooming in the hospital. Holy Mary wrapped in a white coat, Dr. Keiko Onigara. Well, since you've reached a bad ending, I suppose I'll give you some advice. The way you to circumvent this bad ending is simple. Stop me. Having the police interfere won't bring this incident to any sort of satisfactory conclusion. You have to solve this problem on your own. The next time I start acting as though I'm about to inform the police, don't hesitate to stop me. That ends my advice. See you, Shorty. Go now and guide the Cheryls to a happy conclusion. They really didn't need to have these hint moments because it's always right after you make a choice. So, stop Dr. Keiko. Dr. Keiko, wait, you can't. I can't what? You can't call the police. Why not? You're planning to inform the police based on my recovered memories and the sleeping medicine detected in my blood, right? Right? That's against the law. But what? Doctors aren't allowed to reveal information they learned in the course of treating their patients to the outside. I don't know that that applies in this situation. I mean, I don't know Japanese law, but I feel like in America this would not fly. That you're allowed to do that. The only exceptions are in cases of infectious diseases or drug addictions. And I'm not carrying an infectious disease or addicted to any drugs. Furthermore, doctors have no obligation to report concerning patients they suspect may be involved in a murder case. Where the hell did you find all of that? I skipped it, but it said something like I looked it up. And why would you look that up? Well, you're right. With the question to whether I have any obligation to make this report, the answer is no. This is super concerning. Like, is this legitimately Japanese law? The answer is no. There's no need to report anything outside of infectious diseases or drug addictions. I won't suffer any immediate consequences if I don't report this attempted murder you've been involved in. Why are you so against my telling the police? You just can't. Even though you were slipped a sleeping pill and set up to be killed while looking like you'd committed suicide by charcoal briquette? Yes. Even though there's an extremely high probability that the culprit is one of those 3 girls sitting in the hallway? Of course. I don't understand. What on earth are you thinking? Are your circumstances in life such that bringing in the police would cause problems for you? Tell me honestly. No, it's nothing that deep. It's just another thing to think about regarding the doctor is that it says that, didn't it say that the man who hung himself in the hospital was in his 60s? Like, even if you assume we're like college students, that's 20-something years old. This man would have had those girls at 40. I mean, I know that happens, but I don't know. No, it's nothing that deep. It's just one of the Shiros in the hallway smells the same as the culprit, and the culprit had a spare key which I only gave my girlfriend. I very strongly believe that the culprit is my girlfriend, the real Shiro Satome. It may only be circumstantial evidence, but if you call the police, they'll start their investigation right away, right? And Shiro Satome will be arrested. But if she's going to be arrested, I would rather she turn herself in. I want her to surrender herself of her own free will. I may not remember who Shiro Satome is yet, but she was my girlfriend, you know? She was the person I loved, even if I don't remember how much I loved her yet. I don't know what motive she had for trying to kill me, but because I loved her, I want to have her turn herself in. Anything to lighten her sentence, even the tiniest bit. That's why I don't want you to inform the police. Yeah, you're sweet. Sweeter than Lugduname crystals. But that sweetness isn't a bad thing. You may be girl-crazy, perverted, shallow, hasty, easily carried away, and completely undependable, but you do have a certain compassion for others. There are plenty of guys who are just nice, but you won't find a lot of guys who are merciful enough to feel pity for the person that tried to kill them. All right then, out of respect for your sweetness, I'll put off making my report to the police. Dr. Keiko, I knew you would understand. So, what are you going to do now? Right, now what I happen to do is talk to each of the Cheryls again, one by one. For what purpose? Like I said before, to figure out which one is the real Cheryl and get her to turn herself in. The culprit who tried to kill me is my girlfriend, Shiro Satome. There's no question in my mind. And right outside this room, there are 3 people calling themselves by that same name. Identifying the culprit also means identifying the real Shiro Satome. Now, with 50% of my memories back, I might be able to figure out who it is. I'll identify the killer, the real Shiro, clear up her motive, and persuade her to turn herself in. Alright, it's currently 9 p.m., and the next part of your memories will come back at 10. There should be plenty of time to talk to the 3 Shiros before then. Like before, I'll start by calling in the cheerleader. Alright. I need to figure out when to cut this off since the chapter end probably won't be for a while. Maybe I should end it here right before the meeting. Oh. Oh, we did it. Did we reach the chapter end actually? Oh, well, that's convenient. So, because these chapters are so long, I will end this part here. What do you think's going on? Is the cheerleader really our girlfriend? Is she really guilty? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.